I want to say, first of all, how honored I am that you all came tonight. And I know that you guys loved kids and husbands and people, and well, that is sometimes easy to do. Stacy's like, what kids? I also know that there's like 1,000 million things that you could do every single night. So the fact that you came and to listen to me, and some of you don't even know me, that means even more. So thank you. That being said, I do want to tell you that I have spent hours and hours and hours making sure that what we're doing makes sense and that I value your time. So I put a lot of work into this, not to make you feel guilty, but to know that I honor you and that I think a lot of you and that it means a lot to me that you came. The system that I use, I've been using for 2 years, and I came up with it because every time that I lost a paper or I didn't have something for school or I came across something for the kids like the adorable angels that they made in K4, and they were stuffed on top of the fridge when the movers came. Every single time that something like that happened, I added or took away or rearranged until this was tweaked to the point where it was both user-friendly and successful. Like I haven't lost a paper now in 2 years.
Have you lost your keys?
Yes, I have lost my I have lost my keys. I have lost my car. If Hattie is not with me, I have no idea where I've parked. Period. End of story. Literally, I'm the person walking up and down every aisle at Target, no clue where I park. Especially if I'm on the phone when I go in, because then you get phone brain and you don't even, So, now, it does, so there's it took a lot of time to do this, and you have time to come here, but what I want to point out is that when you have chaos and you have to look for papers every single time you go to use them, every single time that you need something, it's chaotic and you're racing, that costs you a ton of time and stress that you don't realize. Then there's this thing called guilt. And when they put that baby in your arms, the mom guilt is a whole nother, right? It's like, it morphs. You never knew you could feel guilt to the level that you can feel guilt until they put a baby in your arms. And then guilt is just like crazy, crazy. So now you're cleaning out your sock drawer and you come across this note that was so special that you know, and you feel so guilty because you know it shouldn't be there and you want it to be important. That adds another layer of yucky feeling onto your day. Okay, so there's that. Then also, just the fact that when they come in the door and they hand you all of these things, you're making 50 decisions every single time. So they're giving you this stack of papers and you're going, I don't know what to put this. Okay, I'm going to put it here. And then you have to make dinner, so you say, okay, wait, this isn't a good spot for it, and you decide again. And then you decide again, and then you decide again. It takes up so much mental energy to make 50,000 decisions every single day. So clutter in itself is not so much about the clutter, and that's annoying, but it's about the taxing that it takes on your mind. It's exhausting. You just move things from place to place to place, and you are using all of these daily decisions, and you could be doing it so much faster. So that is why I think, even though you have a lot of things on your plate, this time is going to save you infinite amount of time in the future, and guilt, and chaos. Who doesn't want that, right? Okay? So that is my pitch. Because in order to be able to motivate, to edit, you've got to have your desire up front. You're never going to walk into a room and go, okay, I really feel like, maybe right now, but the rest of us, we really, really need to have a strong desire. You've got to really know why you're getting rid of stuff. You've got to know why you're going to question the system in order to keep yourself motivated to go through it, or you'll quit. So the motivation for this system is that we know where things are and we don't have to look. The papers that we really, really love and all the important things that we really, really love are in a safe place. And we don't have to think about it. And we don't have to do daily filing, and it's super user-friendly. And you can skip a couple days and you still can jump right back in the game. So, I mean, are you ready? I mean, that is my pitch to you. That's what I want you to see about this, okay? So, the first thing that we're going to talk about, when you have papers that come into your house, they're always going to go in 3 categories, okay? If you want to write this down, you can. The first category is act. So that is anything that has a hard and fast deadline that has to be done immediately or has to go back to the school. It's a bill that has to be paid. It's an action item, okay? When we're talking about school papers, basically you're talking about field trip forms that have to be returned, homework. This category is the most simple because basically you don't have to decide anything. You only have to make one decision. Where is it going to go and how are we going to communicate it to everyone? So do you have a spot in your house where all of the kids' schoolwork that has to be returned, do you always know where that is? Mm-hmm. Everybody, yeah, okay. So like this is mine. It sits this.
Liar.
Okay. There's heckling. So this is mine. This goes on my fridge. It's not. It doesn't have to be this, but because I don't have a mudroom, this is magnetic. Yes. Doesn't hold a lot, so you can't put 45 pieces of paper in there, but you can get this at Target. But it's enough so that it's right there, and everybody in our house knows where. So if I go away for the weekend, always the homework that's due for that week is always in here. It's anything that has to be filled out immediately.
What if it's completed?
If it's completed, then it goes in their backpack. Great question. Yeah. Now, the other part of that ACT category would be things that your kids are already signed up for, which is where this item comes into mind. So this is not something you're deciding about doing, but everything that you have going on, this is your at a glance. So if you look, we have like we have first grade stuff, and then I write right on here whether they're having home lunch or hot lunch. Every Sunday night we sit down, go through it, they pick, and I write it so that I don't have to think about it again for the rest of the week. So, and then, like this is for the field day. So once I've signed up for the field day, and I know that I have, this piece of paper goes in here so that I can remember what time I have to be there. What's going on.
What's your tab name?
Events. And then I have soccer coming up. So because I have 2 kids in the same grade, I get a kind of an easy button. I don't have to keep track of 2 classes, but you would have one child's class here, one child's class here. So that's why you would want 4. I mean, so far my kids are in the same class, so I have one less calendar to look at. That's your ACT category. It's pretty simple. Questions about ACT?
It's there. How did you pick what the other tabs were? I mean, I feel like I could have.
They change. They can change all the time. Yeah, they change. I mean, what you want to, you don't have to put in here, like I don't have track in here because I don't handle anything for track. Heath handles track. I go, it's Saturday mornings. I don't have responsibilities for it. So track is not in here. So you can pick, but I mean, for me, this is action items like, I don't want to forget library books tomorrow.
Or if they're like sports order forms, like picture day.
I thought that was that.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's this. This is just stuff you want to be able to see.
Ew.
Like I'm gonna need to reference.
Yes.
Often. So I could put like.
No, forms are going to go in here until they're filled out, then they go immediately back.
Okay.
So like school calendar, hot lunch menu, school calendar,
Yep.
hot lunch menu.
This is visual stuff.
Family calendar for the husband on the front page.
Yes. Yes. Family calendar is great. Yeah.
Check.
Okay. Second category is this. This is my favorite one. This is, well, I have a couple favorite ones. Decide. Okay. Decide. Now this, yes. See, this is where people get so stuck, and these are the papers you move from counter to counter to counter to counter until they are full of spaghetti sauce and you have missed the date, right? So what you're going to do is just find something like this guy right here. Now, I don't care if this is a basket. If you travel and you have a lot of car time, this could be an accordion folder, whatever you want it to be. But everything that comes home from school that you're not sure you're going to do yet all goes in one spot.
Karate form.
Yep, it comes home from school. Maybe you're going to do it, but you're not sure yet. It all goes together. Summer school, camp activities, all of that goes in one spot. Until you know. Now, here's the fun thing. Let's say it's up in here and you forget to sign up for it. You didn't really want to do it. If you really wanted to do it, where would it be? In here. So this is just, and you don't, you know, and then you're gonna go, okay, wait, she wanted to do that gymnastics thing that was on a Saturday and she asks about it. Oh, let's take a look and see where it is. I don't subcategorize this, I just throw these calendars in here.
Is there one for each kid?
Nope, it's all in one. Because if you make it too complicated, then you have to do too much filing as they're coming in the door. This is just a big unit.
But this is just junk that came out of the backpack.
Just decide.
So like the thing I got at Takes for gymnastics goes somewhere else?
If you want to put it here, you can.
Okay.
Yep,
need to
I would
be
keep it
black and
simple.
white.
Until you decide.
Yep.
You haven't
I would
decided,
say
what
all
was the
kids stuff that you want to decide can go in here. All kids stuff. Because
Okay.
I filed gymnastics, so I gymnastics and all the awards and stuff that they bring home, church, Sunday school stuff, all of that I use in here.
Okay.
Mhm.
There will not be any awards.
Those go
Okay.
back in the garbage.
Questions about deciding? So far we're flying. Anybody have another subcategory that they think, papers that they think wouldn't go in here?
All those pictures and arts and crafts.
Yeah, that's next. Okay, yeah, but I mean, as far as like, does this, so far we've got 2 categories, okay? So now, we're gonna come into this final category, which is a file. How's it feeling?
Okay, I'm good so far.
Okay. So, filing has like 3 subcategories. Now, initially this is gonna seem overwhelming, but it's going to be better, I promise you, okay? So, the first part is something that we need temporarily. So filing temporarily would be things like homework supplies, okay? Or let's say I have in here, I have high frequency words. This is a file. I want this available. I don't want to have to go digging for it, right? But I don't need this forever. At the end of this year, I'm going to pitch it, okay?
So what was that category again? Subcategory?
So under file,
Yeah.
this is something that would be a temporary file.
Temporary, okay.
Yep, but it's something you probably want at your fingertips. That would also include things like calendars, all of these kinds of things when the kids get sick and you need to call them in and you can't remember the number, or you need to know that mom. You want these things kind of all together. Right here. Temporary. We're not keeping it forever, but we got to know where it is. What other types of things can you think of? Like IEP forms would be another one. Maybe a current report card, if you have a question about it. I would put that in here until I knew that I wasn't going to need to resource it again. Yeah? Okay. Then, this is the best part of the whole thing. The maybe box.
Size shoebox.
You know what? You know what it really is? Look.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a school tool box.
Uh-huh. That I contact.
Oh, I need to order that.
Mine's in here. Mine's in here. My form is right here. So, this box, now we have taken out anything that needs to go back to school, and anything we haven't decided about, or anything that we know that we want to keep but we don't need to return tomorrow. Everything else is going in one of 2 places. This maybe box, or a recycle bin. And here is the most amazing thing about this. So I have purposely not edited this so that you guys could see how I really live. This is 2 months worth of I don't knows from my kids. Does this look familiar?
Is that really, I don't know, or is that I don't have time to go through it?
Both.
Okay.
Yep,
And
both.
I'm gonna throw it away eventually. I just can't do it for the kids.
And Kelly, you know what? It's one more caveat though, okay? It's also, Mom, did you throw away that thing? Nope, I didn't.
What if they ask after you throw it away? 'Cause
Daddy.
After 2 months, they won't remember.
I don't know.
Stace, after 2 months, they won't remember.
Okay.
So this is a 2-month box. Yeah, get yourself, yeah. So this is a 2-month box of stuff. And so when they come in the door, I am dumping it in here. Now, here's the really cool part. Every time that this box gets full, yeah, please do, grab some more, or grab another snack. Every time this box gets full, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna sort it, and now I've got this huge selection of things, and I'm gonna pick my favorite 2.
Do you do it on an interval, like a 2-month, or when it's?
I do it when, that is up to you. I tend to be more of a, I don't like dates, but when something's bugging me. So when I can't shove another paper in there, I know it's time. And then I might say, okay, I'm gonna get to that Tuesday of next week, or what day are they not home, and I'll do that. So I tend to be more like when it's full.
Yeah.
than a schedule. But if you're a writer-downer, go for it. Now the cool thing about this is every single time they come home from church and they write something cute, or they get a letter from a friend that says you're the most amazing thing, you think, oh, that is so precious. Or they bring home a book and you're like, wow, that's amazing writing. We have to keep that. That's like brilliant. But when you're stacking it up against a whole 2 months worth of collection, all of a sudden the most important papers are going to stand out like this. It's going to make it easier to pitch the rest. And you're going to see that. We're going to actually go through this big stack that came home on Friday, and we're going to practice together. And you're going to see how easy it is to see the duplicates. So I will just go through this. Let's just say I'm pulling out these two. If they don't have a name and a date, I will put it on there. Now, if I don't remember the date, I will put the month. If I don't remember the month, I will put the year. I will put the season. I'll put spring. Because you're never going to remember more of the information or the time than you do right now, so you just go with what you remember. You don't get nervous like I forgot.
Are we coming to a key part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So this is our maybe file, right? Temporary file. But the nice thing is this lives on top of my fridge. And I just open it up and shove it all in there, and now I can make spaghetti.
So where do you hide your candy?
My candy is up above. Yeah, but my kids don't eat candy. They don't eat candy. They don't like it. They don't like sweets. So, okay. Now, when I sit down and I want to go through everything, and I'm going to go through this box and take it down to nothing every 2 months-ish.
Do you make yourself go all the way through when you go through it?
I do. And I mean, I'm just going like this. Not special, not special, not special, not special, special. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Because the reality is, like, look at how much you accumulate.
I throw all that junk away.
Gosh, I'm horrible. I think everything's special.
Can I just tell you, I got a country store box from my mother 2 weeks ago with all that in it. I'll tell you where it all went.
That's just it. I mean, so you only really want to keep what you want to know and what you want to remember, and then there's going to be a time, and then they're going to get rid of it too. You know, the reality is, you want to try to think about, like, okay, what is this an example of? Was this the first, thing? But here's the thing. You can go through and thin this later, but at least it's all together. You could always go back and thin it. So this file folder box, you'll see each one of my kiddos. I have a file. It has a picture on it. Now, you don't have to do this. It has the grade, the year, the teacher, and the school.
Wow. There's a book you can buy. I bought a book that's got all those in one thing. And it's got a little sleeve, so you can put like free whatever in there. And I haven't filled.
Too much detail?
No, it's awesome.
So now, and then basically now I'm just going to go through, and the couple things that I'm going to save, I'm just going to plop them in the back.
So
Now-
is this just memory stuff? Like, this isn't like height and weight charts from your doctor?
No, I don't keep
For
those. The
certificate?
doctor has those.
You can get those electronic.
Yeah.
I used to. I haven't.
But you know what? I mean, Kelly, you know what? So it's to me it's sports, and there's special stuff that they did that year. I put pictures in there. Their birthday party, anything I want to say from their birthday party goes in there. Everything that is that year goes in here.
So what's all that other stuff in there?
These are other years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I have a box per kid.
Yeah.
And we have a not kindergartner and a first grader. I have a problem.
Oh, I'll come first. I have the opposite problem.
Well, I mean, but you know what? The thing is, as long as you know where it all is and it's all labeled, you can have more. But if it's scattered everywhere, then it doesn't matter.
Are Patty and Heston in one box, or they each have their own?
They are for now because I have limited storage. But you can see this is so, and here, look, this is kindergarten, right? We're almost done with first grade, and this is first grade. So this is gonna, right? I mean, you guys who have older kids, right, Sarah, right? They're gonna come home with less and less, and it's okay that the kindergarten, preschool, whatever, that those files are thicker. Those projects are bulkier. They use so much glue, like. Yeah, so I mean, and like we have all these bound books that every once in a while they like to pull out, but they're kind of done with. So each grade they're going to get less and less special things.
Yeah.
But now I just go in, put the picture on, second grade, boom. Now, does it have to be this fancy thing? No, you could just write it on there. Do you need the picture on the front? No. I mean, I don't care if you do it like this, just give it a home.
So are the other school pictures in there? Or this is just like, I did this at school, look at me, I'm cool?
No, I mean, here's our classroom picture envelope.
Okay.
Whatever you want to remember for that year is in here.
Okay.
So, like Hassan did wrestling and Heath ordered way too big of a package. I did not say that, honey. So that package is in his last year's, it's in there because I didn't know what to do with it. I also don't order sports pictures anymore, ever. I take enough of them while they're playing. Please forgive me, sports picture taker people, who is your bread and butter, but that's
So
what
like
it is.
if I have all my kids' pictures just in one spot.
You can
I could
have
just
that.
Add a picture file to my.
You could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is really about, I don't care what that looks like. You have to do what makes sense for you, but you have to decide on a home in advance of the stuff coming in your door. That's what you want to do. Yep. Okay?
Where did you get that box?
This box is from Walmart. And I went to the one in Eagan today, especially to try to get some so that I could have some here if you wanted to take one home with you. And all the lids were cracked.
Kimber Grove Heights, I'm telling you.
That feels like the end of the world to me because I don't live here. It feels like the end of, we can do it. So this is from Walmart. It is $7.17.
Is it Sterilite? Or
Mm-hmm. And it has, you can do either the legal size. I like the legal size because I think it gives a little more room,
Oh.
right? You can do legal or you can do this way, you know, so that's a pretty easy, straightforward thing to do. Okay? So, should we practice?
Yes.
Now, let's talk about if you have stuff all over your house. If you have stuff all over your house and it's everywhere, how do you start? Do you start by going around and collecting all the stuff all over your house? What do you do?
I'd probably just start with one box to make it simple and then as I find things.
Yes.
from there.
Yep. So you're going to just set up your homes, know where they are, decide them. And if it's not this, I don't care. Set up your homes. And then as you're going through your house, when you find a paper, you don't have to decide anymore. You just put it in here.
Where do you have that while you're not filing?
I have it stored up in my closet because this is not a prime real estate item. I don't need daily access to this. I only need to use it every 2 months. So it goes,
Because if there's something you know now I'm gonna keep, you just throw it in.
I throw it in here.
Okay.
I throw it in here till I'm filing. Filing is not a daily task.
See, that's where it is.
Yep.
That only happens when the box is full.
That's right. Yeah. Filing should only happen when the box is full.
I gotta put it away now. I have to learn to allow myself to use that system instead of wasting time.
That is,
You
you are putting it away when you put it in the maybe box.
Yep, this has a
But
home.
I have issues.
Yeah, I mean, and if you,
We're here, we're all here for the same reason.
but every time that something comes in, it's not realistic that while I'm making dinner, and we have to get out the door for track, and we have to do this, that I'm gonna go all the way upstairs and date it and put it in this file. That is an unrealistic expectation of myself. So then I will move it for 6 months, I'll move it from place to place to place, until the day when I go, I've had enough, but then that is creating mental, visual, emotional clutter while you move it. It's like, this isn't done yet. Oh, here, beat myself up. Oh, this is so important. Why is it still here? Beat myself up.
What did you wrap around the handle? Is that ribbon?
No, I just hot glued
Tape.
ribbon to it, and it's kind of coming
fun.
off.
Okay.
Yeah. See, and I mean, literally, and it was if I were going to teach you a contact paper class, this would probably not be my shining moment, because there's like a strip here, but I was just using up a roll. Okay.
Contact paper your folders. Sorry,
I did. And these, because they were blue, and I didn't do that great of a job if you look. See, there's nothing perfect about any of my stuff, but if you just get it done, it works. And it's been working for 2 years, and it looks fine. So should we sort a box and see how if this makes sense to you? So this is, go ahead.
Sunday backpack clean out day.
Yeah, well, I pull papers every night, and if I don't have time to file, I stack them on here. If I don't have time to do my pre-sort, this is my signal that I haven't sorted them. That's a cheater. So I just set them up here, which is where these have been so that I could show you.
Do you clean their backpack every single day?
I pull out their papers every night.
Well, I do too, I just mean like, but Friday even?
Yeah, I do. I pull it, and then I put everything away as soon as they come home so that everything's all put away for the weekend.
I pull it out on Sunday.
That's fine. I don't think there's a wrong. I don't think there's a, some people are, my husband is a save everything till Sunday night kind of guy, and I'm a do everything Friday right as soon as they get home from school kind of girl. So we always do homework on Sunday mornings. We've compromised that way, but I always set it all up like that. Okay? So this is all the stuff that came home from their backpacks. A book that she wrote. Where does this go?
What's it about?
I don't know. Spots. Where does this guy go?
Maybe.
You already throw it away.
Yeah.
So, like, she wrote it though, and I don't have time to look at it right now, but it could be her best writing yet.
So she's gonna write better.
So maybe.
2 weeks. I mean.
Yeah, it goes in the baby box. That's, you could do toss. I'm gonna bring my recycle bag up. You could do toss. I tend toward deciding all at once. The other cheat thing that I do with a lot of this stuff, if it's not special, like all of our grandparents live far away. So if it's not special enough for me to save, I will have her write a note and I send it to all the grandparents when I'm filing. Mhm.
25 books to do something.
Yep, I send it to aunts and uncles. Okay, now, so these are Scholastic summer passwords, but I don't know if I'm gonna do the Scholastic summer password. Exactly. Decide, because I don't know yet, right? What about book orders? Well, summer's coming up for me, and I was kind of thinking maybe.
Yeah, I would get one.
And the library.
So I'm gonna put it in my to decide. Parent volunteer form for the field trip, and I'm going.
Action.
Wait.
Action, right up in here, so that I know.
Volunteer for stuff.
Oh, you already volunteered.
Yeah.
She's going to volunteer too, so that would be.
Okay, I don't know if we can do the carnival because Heath is traveling.
Yes, you can, it's a decide. You have PTO, so do this table.
All right,
Decide.
so it's in
Action.
decide. All right, now I'm being bullied in my own talk show.
You need to fill that out.
So this is a summer activity that we might do to decide. Just writing spelling words. Recycle. Recycle. Sports thing I might do. To decide. Spelling test. Okay?
There's Stellar Speller, you keep it.
No, that's
They
here.
can spell for you any day.
But this is just so ordinary. Yeah, just this is the test.
Claire brings those home not even spelled right, so.
I know. I'm like, come on, I spend so much time deciding. A run for hope. I probably won't do it. Gone. If I don't think I'm gonna do it, instead of hanging onto the paper for 6 months, I tend to decide it immediately right away. Like, probably not. I'm not even gonna, because then it's gonna hang around in my
If
head.
you really want to do it, you'll think of it and you'll look it up.
Yep, Yep, exactly. Kind of a cheesy picture. I mean, just kind of a color in.
Just did that one, yeah.
Okay. First grade news. This is a great example.
I have a question.
I just throw them away.
Do you sit down and read it now, or do you put it in the act?
That is a great question. This is not an act because it doesn't have to be returned.
Okay, so if it's something you need to do, but it doesn't need to go back, it doesn't go in
I
act.
would give it a quick scan.
Okay.
And I would say everything that's on here, I already have on my calendar, except the first grade talent show. And then I would write that on my calendar and then throw this away.
Okay.
But all the stuff that comes home from the teachers, like we're learning this, we're learning this, we're learning this. If you don't just give it a quick scan right now, you're never gonna read it again. Let's just be honest. So I'll just be like, oh, that's nice, and done. Now it's in my brain where it's way safer than it is on my kitchen counter. I mean, unless I'm parking. Zoo field trip, permission slip. Do you get the idea? Super cute letter from Hattie's friend. Not sure. She might ask for it. That's my main reason for saving it, because I don't save stuff by other people's kids. Seriously. Another book.
Grandparent.
Another book. She must have had to clean out her desk, don't you think? Another book.
They only get to keep their favorite too. I was
Another book.
there on that clean out.
Another book. Another book. Another
Do your
book.
kids get any input about what gets kept?
Sometimes. if they're around and I'm going through books or I'm not really sure, I'll have them say, which one do you think is your best one? But generally speaking, if you don't want to keep it all, you got to do it while they're not around.
Yeah.
Claire would say.
And this bag, by the way, cannot stay in your house. It has to go all the way to the recycling and get buried under something.
Yeah.
I have a pile in the office that's to go to the recycling and Grayson has already taken it out. It wants to stay in there.
You know what it is?
Okay, so
That makes sense.
now, question about the whole shebang. Does it feel doable? I mean, it's not about the containers. I don't care if you go home and you use 15 things from your house. It's about deciding what it's going to be and where it's going to go. Now, if now let's just pretend that they come home from school and you knew this was all there. Instead of their backpacks coming out and you going like, oh, you'd be like, eh. But it's. I mean, if I weren't talking, that would have been a minute, a New York minute.
There's 2 magazine boxes. What's the difference between those two?
Well, this one, I just tried to separate it out a little bit. This one has just specifically homework stuff. You know,
That's more like a supplies deal.
it's more like a supplies. A lot of times I find that we end up using these to do math, you know, and then I keep index cards if I'm gonna do spelling words on there, or, you know what I mean, just the stuff that I'm gonna need. I like, you know, Mrs. Erb was so good at sending home all these math games all the time, and they didn't need to be returned, but maybe on the weekend, if I felt like they wanted an extra practice, I could just pull one of those sheets out and they could do that. But then it was all together.
So what about things like month-long reading logs and month-long math?
Yeah.
Just that I don't want to set to my action folder for the entire month.
I keep, so the reading things I keep on the fridge at their level so that they can cross them off. So you would keep them somewhere where the kids can cross them off, and then you send them in as soon as they're done.
Or even just the Vikings.
You could do that too.
You're a terrible parent. They get prizes
They
when they
get
turn them in.
Pizza Hut.